So week 2, release and emotional freedom. The theme for this week is letting go of the old to make space for the new. Now, our goal is to release limiting belief, emotional burdens, inner resistance, and outdated identity. So today is day 8. If you missed 1 through 7, go to YouTube. It is Chat with Coach Nye, and it's under the playlist 31 day inner transformation. That's the playlist is under. So go ahead and check it out. And if you haven't subscribed, go to subscribe to my YouTube. It's Chat with Coach Nye. Day 8, the power of release. We're going to start off with, you cannot pour new wine into old wineskin. Releasing creates capacity. Y'all always heard that saying, you can't pour new wine into the old wineskin. And we're like, what does that even mean? Just get to the point. What does that even mean? Well, the reason is because the new wine, right, it would tear the old wineskin. So that's why it can't hold, it can't stretch. The old wineskin can't stretch. So since it can't stretch, it'll just go ahead and tear. And that's the same way you have to look at your life and your emotional intelligence, your capacity of your emotions. Because old ways of thinking, right? It is the old ways of thinking that's releasing that is releasing creates capacity, which is the old way of thinking. You cannot enter into the new version of yourself, the healed version, go into healing, going into become the best version of yourself with the old way of thinking. Let's look at it like this. When God get ready to elevate you into your purpose, it's no way you can bring everything that you once knew in. Thank y'all for coming in, which I'm going to give you the example of when Jesus told the disciples, come with me, follow me. Don't worry about anything else. Leave everything you got. Leave it all where it was. Don't worry about it. Come follow me. That's how that goes. So meaning that what he was about to teach them, they never learned before. What he was about to show them, they can't compare it to what they once knew. What he's about to develop in you, you've never seen it before. No one in your family has seen it before. It is something brand new, and nobody can tell you how it's going to go. Nobody can give you an example of how it's going to go, give you lessons on how it's going to go, because what God has for you, nobody can explain it. It's indescribable. What God is about to do for you, no one can compare. No one can give their 2 cents. So everything that you once knew before, you need to leave that behind, because in this season of your life, I'm teaching you how to release so you can have emotional freedom. In order to have the emotional freedom, you have to release everything that you once knew. That's part of healing. That's what healing is. That's that Christ-like conscious. When they say the Christ-like conscious, it is you disconnecting from everything that you once knew and tapping only into what God has for you, who God sent you, or what God sent you, whatever skill it is. That's the only thing that you're going to tap into. What's up, Isha P? Welcome in. Now, listen, I write notes for everything now. Good afternoon. So what releasing actually means, it doesn't mean erasing your past, but removing its power. You releasing, the past has happened, right? We cannot change the past. It has happened. But moving forward, we take the power away from it, meaning that meaning that you detach from that emotion. So someone did you a wrong thing, right? And before I even go any further into this, some things you cannot self-heal. I teach you how to self-regulate, and I teach you how to heal, self-heal. However, some things you just can't, and you need a therapist for. Do you hear me? If you really want to become the best version and you really want to heal, you have to get some therapy. And I'm always, when I'm done with the video and I post it on YouTube, I always put a number on there so you guys can call. So let's get back to it. What releasing actually means. It does not mean erasing the past, but it does mean removing the power from whatever it is. So whatever it is that hurt me, how do I disconnect the emotion from that? I create boundaries. Those boundaries is what's going to keep that from happening to me again. So as I give you the example, here's an example. If you run into that wall, a brick wall with a helmet on, eventually you'll do it again because the impact wasn't so hard. But if you take that helmet off and you run into that brick wall, baby, you'll never do it again. You're going to prevent yourself from ever hitting a wall. Matter of fact, you're going to prevent yourself. You're going to be so cautious everywhere you go. Oh, wait a minute. Is that head clearance? Oh, no. Is that going to be too much for my head? That's what's going to happen. You're going to start being so protective of your surrounding because you're going to be self-aware. That's what this is all about. So detach the emotion, meaning that that thing does not have power over me anymore. You did that to me, but it does not have power over me. It's not going to go into my future. It's not going to go into my present right now. It's not going anywhere. It is where it needs to be in the past, and that timeline has collapsed. It is no longer here. So there is no reason for me to be stressing or dwelling over something that the timeline has collapsed. It's no longer here. It doesn't even matter why I'm stressing over it. But you'll never be able to do it again. However, matter of fact, not you and nobody else. You know how you keep running into the same guy or the same girl. You keep running into the same one. You like, God, why I keep meeting the same people? Is it me? Is it me, Lord? It's something that you need to create boundaries for. You're inviting that in. You invite the things in. Nothing can be attached to you or come in if you don't invite it in. Learn how to lock your gate. So, why letting go is an act of self-love and not weakness. I'll give you an example. This is a good one. You know how they say when they go low, you go high. But a lot of y'all like, no, I'm going to hell. No, I'm going double time. I'm going to hell, and then I'm going to get baptized in hell again. And I'm keep getting baptized in hell because that's how low I'm going to take it. Well, baby, bless your heart, because you ain't going to make it too far in life. It is self-love when you decide to let pride go. Do you know how many people try me? Yes. Do you know how many people try me on a daily basis? Baby, people try me on a daily basis through either subliminals. They do things to get me to react because I say I am who I say I am. Because if he is I am, then I am her. So I am who I say I am. People try me and test me. But because I have healed, I don't let it bother me. You can't attach to me. You'll get tired of trying me before I get tired. That shows self-love. I love me enough to not give you any of my energy. Do you know how powerful your energy is? See, the enemy have you running around here worrying about money. See, it was the root of all, the money is the root of all evil. The love of money. See, that's the thing, the love of money. Money get us to where we need to go, just like Jesus took the coin out the fish and said, pay Caesar what Caesar need to be paid. So we need money to survive in this world, right? However, it's the love of it when you chase a thing, right? So for me, here is how I look at it. My self-love is like money. My self-love is, my energy is money. Energy is currency. The enemy wants you to think currency is the tangible money, and then you become in love with it, and that's what attaches pride and everything else to it. Because I love myself, I'm not about to give you any of my energy. Because I love myself, I'm going to do you a favor. Because anybody that come up against me, baby, you got to answer to God. You ain't got to answer to me. I've learned that it doesn't matter what you do to me. It's not about me. When you attack me, you attack God. So be prepared to pay the piper because you got to pay it. Period. Period, 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 poo. So no, it's not a weakness for me to walk away. It's not a weakness for me to say, yeah, you can have it. Yeah, you got it. I don't have to prove myself to nobody because I am who I say I am. Just because I don't flaunt everything that God blessed me with. And in this season, baby, when I tell you I'm blessed, I'm blessed. And in this season with everything going on, I'm more blessed than I was before. Do you understand? I have more than I had before. So why would I allow anybody to come up against me in this season to knock me off my rocker, take me off my throne? Because this throne is so important in your life. When God gives you peace, you have to sit on your throne. My sister, my brother, you cannot keep getting off your throne to say, hold on, God, hold my beer. Let me go address this. Basically, what you're saying is, God, I don't need you. I just need you when times get hard, you show up. No. I don't stress about anything in this season. Listen, I don't get off my throne to address nonsense. I don't get off my throne to get to anybody's level, because the moment that you get off your throne, then you become like them. And then you become a fool just like they become a fool. God don't deal with fools. You stay in high vibration. Allow God to fight your battles. If people are coming up against you, so what? So what? So just like when Jesus was walking and a lady wanted to if she felt that if she just touched him, this is how I'm about to tell you how rich your energy is. If I just touch him, I'll be healed. See, it was her faith that healed her. But this is where everybody missed the point. His disciples was trying to protect him. Like, don't touch him. Don't touch, like he's a celebrity. They had no idea what they was really protecting. See, they only understood at the mindset of the level of we are, the capacity of where we are attached to this world. But listen, baby, it was more than that. It was the energy off of Jesus. It was that, because he said, who touched me? He's a rich man. Who took my money? Do you understand? Energy is more important than having the actual money. If my energy is good, I get everything I want. When my energy is clear, I receive everything. I don't chase bags. Bags come to me. Do you understand? I don't have to do anything. Everything shifts and plays into my favor. So when she touched him, it was the energy. See, that is more powerful than the money. So what I'm trying to say is self-love. If someone comes up against you, you deal with yourself. Don't worry about them. Listen, let God deal with them. You worry about you, because baby, when you start spending money, that currency, that's energy, you'll be broken. And once you become broken, nobody can pay you the money that you're owed. Nobody can get you out of debt of energy being depleted. Nobody can get you out of that. Only God, because he is the source and you have to plug into it. So they'll take from you and take from you. So I suggest that you choose self-love. It's not a weakness. Love yourself. Understand how rich you are. I'm not arguing with nobody. I am here to teach you a thing. So if you took from me, I just taught you something. You'll learn the lesson. Don't worry about it. When God said, let the dead bury the dead, he wasn't talking about, okay, bones, old bones, get up out the cave, get up out the grave and come bury other people. No, the low vibrational people. If they low vibrational, let the low vibrational people deal with the low vibrational. Let the spiritually dead deal with the spiritually dead. What are you worrying about it for? You over here doing a thing. See, you ain't supposed to help everybody. You're supposed to help the ones that's set apart. Who's set apart? So you know how I do now. Get in class. Y'all in class right now. So that's why don't look at it as a weakness. Look at it as self-love. Now, this is the exercise. I want you guys to write this down. You're going to do it in your own timing. If I was in a class setting, then we would do it together. But however, I'm not. I created this program to help you guys heal. Let's go for it. I want you to create 2 columns. In those 2 columns, I want you to label one column A and one column B. Column A is what I'm still carrying. What I'm still carrying. Column B is why I no longer need to hold this. Those are your 2 columns. Why I'm still carrying, why I no longer need to hold this. Now, here's the challenge. You have to challenge each belief. Each one that you write down, you're going to challenge each belief with this. Is it true? Who told me this? What evidence support or disproves it? Is it true? Who told me this? What evidence support or disproves it? This is how I'm going to teach. This is how you teach yourself how to release and have emotional freedom. Hi, Vince. Okay, I'm going to repeat both of them. Column A is what I'm still carrying. Column B is why I no longer need to hold this. Why I no longer need to hold this. Now, you're going to challenge each belief with, is it true? These are your checks and balances with everything now. Is it true? Who told me this? What evidence support or disproves it? You want to know why? Because this is how you get the power of release. Because sometimes we're holding on to things that people told us. People told you weren't smart enough. You went on believing that I'm not smart enough. I can't do that. It's no way I can apply for that job. I can't apply for that job. And there's no way I can do this. Now I want you to ask you, is that true? Well, I got a degree, but I just never done the job. Okay, it's not true. And then who told me this? Who told you you wasn't good enough for the job? Well, when I was a kid. Do you understand how I teach you how to go back to the root of the problem? Everything is at the root of the problem. In healing, you have to go back to the root of the problem. Do you understand? Y'all got me? Y'all got me? So, and then I'm going to show the evidence that disproves it. I've been successful in everything that I touch. I've been hired for things, didn't know how to do it, but I know how to research and I know how to find it. Yeah, you got it? So that's the evidence. Moving along. So with your physical, you know, I give you a body exercise as well, and I want you to do at your own time. I want you to do 1 minute of a full body stretch, right? And I want you to follow that by 2 minutes of slow breathing. Now, the purpose, to release stored tension and fear. To release stored tension and fear. I want you to stretch and I want you to do some slow breathing. The problem with a lot of us, the reason why we haven't healed is because of we're constantly at a fast pace. We're constantly going. You don't know when to rest. You don't know when God told you to rest. You go, because in the real world that you see, in the real world that we live in the material world that we live in, everything is a fast pace. And if you don't get in there right now, if you don't find out how this person is doing that person is doing that because you got to make money, if you don't get in right now, then you're not going to have the money. And see, that right there causes you to hustle. And when you in hustle mode, you ain't listening to God no more. I don't care if you praying to God like, God, show me what the next step is. And then you still out there doing everything except for what he told you to do. Do you understand? It wasn't until I stepped into my purpose that I realized my job is so simple. I can put any schedule that I want. You know why? Because the schedule meant that when God called me, be ready. In between time, I can do whatever I want. Whatever I want. I ask my Father for whatever it is that I want, and he give it to me. Yes, sitting still is obedience, because you have to know when he called you. How will you know if your name is being called to come to the front of the tomb? But you're too busy. Here it is. I'm supposed to be teaching you how to heal, but yet, okay, I'm no longer working, so I'm no longer, I got to fill that time up. Right? Even though I'm working because I'm in purpose, but I'm used to being in the material world where you got to work, and you got to make this much money, and you got to make that much money. Do you understand? And I'm doing all these different things, trying to do that and keep up with this. And wait a minute, this is how we put God on the fence. This is how we put him on the fence. He told us to do a thing. Okay, I'm going to do that. And I'm going to go over here and do this. And I'm going to do that. And I'm going to do that. And then all of a sudden, this is how the enemy come in. Once you get out of alignment and start doing your own thing, then the enemy like, hey, you see how fast you got this money? Now incorporate what God told you to do into this. You can't force God into mess. You can't force God into a place. That's kind of like trying to force God. You can't even force God into these churches no more. You can't force God into places where he do not dwell. Love does not dwell there. So why are you trying to take my purpose and put it into nonsense? So that's why with me, I chose to stay obedient. Most people would say like, you got the skill. You should do this. You should do this. You should do that. And I hear you. I got you. I understand, but it's not in alignment with what God got for me. Yeah, it probably will make me a quick dollar here and there, but it's not in alignment of what God got for me, because God is going to give me peace. God is going to give me a stress-free life. God is going to take care of me. God is going to order my footsteps. God is going to do all the thinking for me. All I got to do is show up. See, you see how easy my life is? I just show up. I teach you guys, I create these workbooks, but I didn't create them just like, oh, well, I'm going to create this because I know this. God told me to create it. He told me to create the programs. I was creating programs in the sense of, oh, I'm going to turn all these and they're going to be workbooks and I'm just going to sell the workbooks. Okay, thank you, God, but that's not what he said. He said, teach it. Whoa. Well, I would rather be in a classroom environment, God. No. Because in order for me to reach nations, I have to be at a place or platform that can reach nations. He told me that. So why would I be disobedient? Why would I do that? So you have to learn how to get that slow breathing so you can release things and you can hear. You can be in alignment. If you are right now stressed out and you crying and you cried last night and you doing all that and you stressed out about work and you stressed out about everything, why everything ain't rolling, and you stressed out about it, then baby, I need you to go back to the drawing board, because maybe you're doing what he told you to do and what the world told you to do. You can't do them both. A lot of people think that you can. Well, you probably can. Whatever God got for you may be mixed. But you need to identify what is it that he wants. That's why a lot of people get church hurt. Why do they get church hurt? Because they go in there and they expect to be in some kind of leadership position. They've been doing this for this long and they've been doing that for this long. And this, that, and the third. God called them and told them that they're going to be a pastor. They're going to be this. They're going to be that. They're going to blah, 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 blah. And then they go into church and they get mistreated. They get looked down upon. You got the people that ain't even got as much years as you got. Even with jobs, they ain't got much years as you got. And you got... That's because of the fact, yeah, you're supposed to be doing this in this leadership position. It's just that you're not supposed to do it there. You chose that place. Well, I asked God. Yeah, sometimes when you're not listening clearly, the enemy will tell you that place. And you talking about something, I heard God tell me that place. Or maybe God told you to go in that place, but he did not give you the instruction to start operating in purpose. It was for you to see that you don't belong there. You're too good to be there. Come here. I'm going to put you over here. So you can see your own self-worth. Anyway, whole nother story. Let's just go into it, right? So let's get into it. Self-love practice. I want you to repeat this to yourself. I want you to speak this thing to yourself. Letting go is safe for me. I deserve peace. Every time that you feel yourself feeling anxiety driven, or you feeling like something, that gray area, I tell y'all, before y'all about to crash out, that feeling that you get, letting go is safe for me. Or when those thoughts come back, letting go is safe for me. I deserve peace. Because you do. You deserve peace. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you deserve peace? Why wouldn't you? You went through hell all your life and you watched everybody around you struggle. And you think that your life's supposed to be just as stressful as them. It's kind of like people get, this their whole thing with me. You use your dishwasher. I still wash my dishes by hands. And that's cool. You do it how you want. But see, here's the thing. 2 reasons why. One, if God created something to help me with my life to become easier. I'm a single mom. I got to rush home. I got to cook. I got to take them to practice. I got to do this. He just gave me one less thing that I need to do. See, people don't think about that. They always got something to say. Oh, I hand wash my dishes. Well, you hand wash your dishes. But I tell you what, I bet you use the microwave. I bet you ain't using the stove to warm your food up. Right? I bet you ain't sitting there talking about, ooh, when that oven get warm, I'm going to stick this up in there and it's going to warm up for 30 minutes. No, you're going to use the microwave. So don't come judging me. And then 2, when COVID hit, I want everything sterilized. So I don't care. People talking about, I use bleach in my water. Okay, yeah, I do too if I hand wash, but I'm not. I want everything burned off. So that was for me, right? So I don't do what everybody else do. I do what is good for me. For what God said is good for me. I take heed to everything and I'm appreciative of everything. So let's get into this. So you're going to speak to yourself. Letting go is safe for me. I deserve peace. So in everything, those shortcuts in that dishwasher, guess what? That was giving me time, more time for myself. More time for myself to be able to say, okay, let me take a deep breath. Let me catch my breath for a moment. And I wish that this version of me now, when I was going through, would have came through someone else. I wish I had an older woman or a mother figure or someone to come teach me like I'm teaching you. I wish that I had that. That's why it's so important for me to pour into other people. But however, I had to learn to pour into myself first, because I know what it's like not to have guidance. I know what it's like to call someone that's supposed to be that mother figure or someone that you look up to, and they give you the advice of, oh, well, I did it for years. That does not mean it's right. Just because you sat in a relationship and got your head ping pong, like the ping pong table, all by a man that eventually after 50, when he realized he couldn't hump good anymore and nobody wanted him no more, now he's faithful to you. I'm glad that for you, but you're not the one I want advice from. Do you know it's couples out here that spouses never cheated on each other? I know it's heard it is impossible, but it really is. That it is people out here that truly love each other. Do you understand? It is truly people out here that learned how to raise their vibration and become the best version of themselves and learn how to love themselves and allow God to bring their kingdom spouse to them. Yes, we go and pick our kingdom spouse. And then when we pick them, girls, ladies, let me tell you what we do. We go pick them, drag them by their hair to God. God, this is what I want. Clean them up. The enemy, you know what the enemy saying? Say less, sis. Because God ain't fooling with that foolishness. He's not fooling, because he already got somebody for you. He's not fooling with that foolishness. Good. Clean them up. The enemy like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got another soul. Come here. We clean you up just a little bit here. You still trash, but we going to cover up your trash. We just going to put you in the nice neighborhood dumpster. See, I'm going to take you from being in the hood dumpster where the rats crawl to over now in the good neighborhood where all the cats at. The reason why it's so many cats, because they ran off the rats. So I'm going to make you clean up just as much. However, just like Cinderella, but at midnight when the time has come in these 10 years or these 5 hours or these 10 hours or whatever it is, or however old I can put a hold on you, when the clock strikes midnight, baby, because change comes in the morning. So when the clock strikes midnight, that is when, hey, you're going to turn into your true authentic self. But see, it's okay because I'm going to be done broke her all the way down. See, I needed you to get to her. Now that you done brought yourself to me, see, the enemy can't get you unless you let him in. Brought yourself to me. Now I'm going to tear you down. Now I got my claws in you, and it's going to take you years and maybe never be able to take my claws out of you. You may die with my claws still in you because of the fact you went and believed and went off of self and said, hey, God, this is what I want. Clean them up. And the enemy said, say less, sis. Into the daily declaration. This is what we're going to declare. I release what no longer aligns with my purpose. I release what no longer aligns with my purpose. Hey, Naisha Nicole, thank you. Listen, I got to give a shout out to Naisha Nicole. You know, I keep your mustard seed bracelet. She got me a mustard seed bracelet because I've always was teaching about a mustard seed. And every time I put it on, even when I'm in doubt, it just so happened, I always think about this mustard seed. And I'm like, you know what? I got the faith. So thank you. Listen, it's part of my jewelry. Yep. I release what no longer aligns with my purpose. That is your daily declaration. But here's your homework. Yeah, I got y'all notebook. I want you to write a list and I want you to title it this. Title, Things I Am Done Carrying. I am done carrying. That's going to be the title. And it's that's the title. Things I am done carrying. What I want you to do is make a list of those things. When you make a list of those things, then I want you to either burn it, tear it, or dispose it. I don't care what you do. Get rid of it. Whichever way you want to get rid of it, get rid of it. I didn't say go and get it and I didn't say get it and go speak a ritual over it. I didn't say go and speak it off to the moon. I said get rid of it. Whichever way you want to get rid of it, you get rid of it. Because what you're doing is you releasing the power up to that emotion that's been holding you down. You're releasing that. It can no longer have a stronghold on you, okay? So your journaling prompt for tonight is what weighs the heaviest on my soul right now? That's what you're going to journal. And then what belief am I ready to release today? What weighs the heaviest on my soul right now? After you make that list, what belief am I ready to release today? Now, you know, after you journal that, I want you to meditate on it. Because what belief am I ready to release today? Once you meditate on that thing, that is now you're releasing. Meditate on releasing and let it go. Meditate releasing it and letting it go and feeling like, okay, I am bigger than this. Imagine yourself without that. Thank you. Imagine yourself without that emotion. Imagine yourself without that belief. Imagine yourself living that no one ever told you that you were never going to make it. Imagine yourself making it. Because what you think becomes your reality. Breakthrough is near. It is. Now, y'all know I like to, not only do I like to shift you guys gears, I like to shift everyone. Because once you start to heal, you want your environment to heal. So I give you tabletop conversations. Those tabletop talk conversations. Those conversations are for you hanging out with your homegirl, you on the phone with your homeboy, you wherever you are. This is how you throw something in the mix, because a lot of people start healing and they go cut everybody off. They go cut everybody off and they say like, I'm working on myself too much. I can't have you in my life. I'm doing this too much. I can't have you in my life. I can't be doing this. You're not a good influence on me. Instead of you being a good friend, changing in front of them and allow them to disconnect from you versus you disconnected from them. Guess what you just did? You just stunted their growth. Now you just did a sin, meaning that you caused somebody else to stumble because your whole thing was to heal. You were supposed to heal. You were supposed to stand in that. I'm supposed to stand in that. In my healing, I stand in that. I don't go around cutting everybody off. I let them disconnect from me. And when they disconnect from me, I don't go chase them back like, hey, it's been a while. I ain't talked to you. I don't give a dog. Because I understand the mission. It's not about me. It's something that's in them. Okay? So how I'm supposed to change the world and the environment is because I'm healed. I bring different conversations to the table. I didn't say go to the table and say I don't feed into that. I don't want to hear that. No. Guess what? People are not going to talk like I talk. They're not going to think like I think. But that does not mean that I can't sit at the table with them and have a lunch with them or sit and have a drink with them or whatever it be. It does not mean that I can't be right there with them. However, it's conversations that they engage in and they ask my 2 cents about. And then I tell them exactly, see, and that's how God used you. Because you asked me some nonsense. Now, you know that I'm not on that vibration, right? But if you ask me some nonsense, I don't feed back with, oh, well, I don't know, because y'all stupid. No, I fill them up with wisdom. What you brought me, now I'm going to break it down to make it make sense so you can think outside the box. So that's why I create the tabletop talk discussion prompts. So you can have those conversations. You can change the conversation to give you something to think about. Here's a couple. I'm going to give you 3. Just to throw out there. Releasing is not losing. It's choosing yourself. You know, what I've learned is releasing is not losing. It's choosing yourself. So everything, y'all always get to the table and talk about your man. So I realized releasing is not losing. What I say is choosing yourself. Everything that I went through with JJ now, or Kiki now, whatever, everything that I went through with my family, I realized that me disconnecting, it wasn't about me losing. Me not reacting wasn't about me losing. I chose to choose myself. I chose to love myself, self-love. I chose to pour into me. I'm proud of that because there was a point in time that I would have reacted, but I didn't. Thank you, God. It gives you different ways of showing gratitude. Here's another one. Thank you, Nice Nicole. Here's another one. When you stop carrying burdens, you rise. When I stopped caring about what people thought about me, I was able to evolve. I didn't just heal, baby. I evolved. Y'all got to know me from who I was. Y'all got to find some people that know me. I am not only am I I'm not who I used to be. Baby, I don't even look like what I used to look like. I don't walk the way I walk. My perfume has changed. Everything about me has changed. And I'm not talking about within this year. I'm talking about throughout. When I went through my healing journey, and I stepped in purpose. See, when you step in purpose, you evolve. It ain't no fakeness. See, you got a lot of people that want to fake it, meaning that, okay, I'm going to dress the part. If I dress the part, then I'll get customers. No, baby, I lived this. I became that. That's how you evolve. You become. I don't worry about what everybody else got going on. I have arrived. I have become. People don't see me the same. They looking at me kind of crazy, like, well, why she looks so different? Is she aging backwards? What is going on, baby? I'm gonna be 45 years old next year, and I'm loving every bit of it. I'm loving every piece of me. I'm loving everything because I said, God, for the first 40 years of my life, it was hell. I was confused. But can you make the next 40 something years and plus, can you make that the best? Make me look as young as I was when I was before. Make me look better than I was before because I want to actually live. I want to actually live now. I don't want to just survive. I ain't coping no more. I ain't surviving no more. I'm not just here waiting on the days to go by anymore. I have evolved and I am her. So now it's time for me to take over the world. The people that God is bringing into my life now, listen, these people, he bringing them in and the enemy bringing them in. Let me tell you what I do with the ones that the enemy bring in. I treat them with kindness, grace. I give them grace. I give them grace because of the fact I know what you're trying to do, but I can't come off my throne. So just watch me. And I want you to look like me because I still have to set the example. I still have to be the leader. No matter what you do to me, I still have to be the leader because my job is to teach. So it doesn't matter if you do your hair like me, do your makeup like me, put on the clothes like me, speak like me, talk like me, take my content, whatever it is. My job here is done. You were supposed to evolve and teach the lessons that I'm putting out. What I speak came from God. So now you speaking it. So you putting it out. Mission complete. But the people that God is bringing into my life, listen, they're doing everything for me. They just elevate me. When I say I don't have to worry about nothing, I don't have to worry about nothing. Everything comes to me. Everything. And where I am right now, my schedule is so tight. And it's like I don't have the capacity to do anything else. But I have the capacity because I'm in purpose. So it's like I'm not even working. I have so much going on. This is so much to be grateful for. I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful. Had I not disconnected from those people, had I not disconnected from a world that hated me, had I not disconnected, I would not be who I am today. See, I only became who I am today because I chose to disconnect from that. Yes, I chose to, no matter what's going on, stay in purpose. I chose to, no matter what the world looked like, stay in purpose because I'm not of this world. I live in this world, but I'm not of it. So it doesn't matter what. Listen, I don't get in folks' business. The world is acting crazy. I don't get in folks' business. I'm at my own business. The world is acting a plumb fool. I don't get in folks' business. The president is doing whatever he wants. I don't get in folks' business. The world is not of me. I'm not of this. So I ain't getting in your business. Fine, go ahead. You just shut everything down. You done took the food. It's a food crisis. There's diseases going on. All these things going on. That ain't none of my business, though. See, the business of that is of those people. When he said the dead bury the dead, the low vibration is still stuck to the material world and chaos and mess. That's what they have to deal with. That's why they're in conflict. Me, I'm over here minding my business and doing what I'm supposed to be doing in purpose, on purpose. So I changed the environment. So whatever is spoken, it doesn't matter who you are. I can be among anybody. I told you I can sit right next to the devil and he won't bother me. He can't touch me. It's nothing he can do to me. I don't care what he do. It's nothing that he can do to me because I have to allow it. And my daddy said, don't let nobody touch me. My daddy said, don't let nobody touch me. God said, don't let nobody touch you because he'll touch them. So you can't touch me. Now, I'm not going to go against my dad and go outside and say, hey, devil, come on in here for just a second. No. That's that one person that you left a long, long time ago. Now they come back and you're like, all right, let me just try. See, there you go. Your daddy said don't open the door for nobody. And that's how you got to live your life. So that tabletop discussion, the first one we just talked about is releasing. Releasing is not losing. It's choosing yourself. The second one, when you stop carrying burdens, you rise. That's how I evolved. I told you the enemy going to try me at all time. The light went off, but guess what? He can't touch me. So I'm going to still keep teaching. Let's go. Anytime I plug, well, I don't know. The light's still on over here, so let's go. Here we go. Now, the third one is, what would happen if you stopped apologizing for your capacity? What would happen? If you stopped apologizing for your capacity, you stop saying that, hey, I'm sorry that I don't have the bandwidth to deal with you. I'm sorry that, I don't have the space for you to come in and ruin my life. I'm sorry. Girl, please move on. Get her moving. Okay?